Well, good evening, everyone. Welcome to Bowling with the Fef. You're watching the premiere edition, the premiere episode of Bowling with the Fef, a show about bowling, all things bowling, a place to share your unique bowling story, ask and answer questions, discuss bowling events and happenings, and it's all live on YouTube. My name is Andrew Pfeffer, and I'm happy to be hosting this little program, and we've got a couple of great guests that we're going to bring on in just a second to talk about their Facebook page, Bargain Bin Bowling Memes. You might have seen it if you're a frequent Facebook user. More than 1,700 likes on that page, so they've had quite a bit of success, and we're going to find out how they do what they do, and why, and their bowling stories and all that good stuff too. But I want to start with the first frame, which is kind of an events and happenings deal where we talk about something in bowling. Hopefully, some of you have seen the PBA playoffs so far. It's about, maybe a third of the way through, a quarter of the way through. Interesting stuff, but they've included some neat intro videos. And I feel like there's been a lot of talk on social media about those videos. I'm wondering which one was your favorite, if you saw them. Did you see them? What if you had an intro video? What would it be like? Think about that. The chat window is open. So please, ask questions, comment, let us know you're out there because we'd love to hear from you. And if you've got questions for our guests, we can pose them to them before this whole thing goes away. So speaking of our beer frame guests, let's bring them on. We've got Paul Bautch from Oliva, Wisconsin, and Sam Lofquist from Chippewa Falls. Thanks for joining us, guys.
Thank you.
Thanks for having us.
You bet. So let's start out with that concept of intro videos. Did you see them? Paul, maybe you want to go first.
Yeah. So I think it's a good way to look into what the players kind of bring personality-wise, or just what they want to portray as their figure on TV.
Yeah, certainly helps when they're done as well as they were on the show. Sam, did you have a favorite?
I didn't actually watch any of them.
Oh,
The only action I watched was Prather versus Kent
okay.
this weekend. And
Yeah.
I saw Jacob Butcher with his poker chips and all that.
Yeah.
Jazz. I'm like, that's neat. But
I was going to say,
I've got to watch the video, I guess.
I was going to say that was probably my favorite one, was the Butcher one. Yeah. I thought it was interesting that they didn't shy away from the controversy on the Rash one. If you caught that, Paul.
I did not, but as far as the Rash goes, controversy kind of just seems to follow him everywhere. So it's kind of like the Yankees. Everybody either loves him or hates him, but he's definitely a very talented bowler, and with 900 global, he's had a lot of success already. So
absolutely. Let's just say they went to the origin of his rivalry with Jason Belmonte.
Little squeezy of a water bottle.
A little bit.
Go.
And his reaction to said squeezy. So, but they have them all on the PBA's social, so go check them out if you haven't seen them yet. Bargain bin bowling memes. Let's talk about that to start off. Sam, where did this idea come from?
Mostly out of boredom.
Yeah.
I downloaded an app. I'm like, I just kind of like making these, and I would share some to the big USBC group, and people seem to like them. So I was like, maybe if I just make a page, then people who want to see it will actually follow through and want to go there instead. Because not all of them are friendly for that page.
Right.
Yep. A lot of things get blocked on that page no matter what they are. So.
Yeah, they tend to get the buck, but
sure,
that's for another day.
Right. Yeah. But so this is something that started with you, Sam, and then Paul got into the fold somewhere along the line?
Yeah. So it was probably a couple months, and Paul would send me some here and there, and I'd post some and be like, this is from Paul, yada, yada, yada. And then I was like, you know what, I'm just going to it's gonna give you admin control too of the page, so you can do whatever you want.
Yeah,
Plus, I trust he's not gonna do anything dumb or reckless. So that's another kind of part
if
of
I do,
it.
it's just a meme page. So
Yeah,
Yeah,
I mean, it's pretty hard to do that. So
sure.
I try to draw some things off of like everybody follows NFL memes. They blow up all their memes as soon as something happens in sports world. NFL memes has a meme about it, so it's like, well, we have nothing for bowling memes. We might as well try to get something out there where people can relate to that. So
Sure.
and then there'll be times at like 10 o'clock, 10:30 on a weeknight. I just go on a little mini bender and make like 10 in a row and send them all to Paul and like, well, pick one.
I tell them that 2 of them are funny, and
Yeah.
That's the thing. It must be a deal where, you think some people think this is going to be funny, others might not. Do you have any kind of, spirited discussion about that stuff?
Not a whole lot.
Yeah.
No, we don't really do a lot of personal stuff, I guess.
yeah,
Sure.
I mean,
It's
some
mostly-
political ones try to offset. If you have a Biden one, make a Trump one to follow it, so both sides kind of get some attention there.
Yeah, we try to get a little bit of both. And then anything else we do, like personally, some of it's just self-deprecating.
Yeah.
Like the one I did yesterday was about just like struggling to find a double. And then 3 hours later, that's me at league. So just a little self-fulfilling prophecy there.
I think part of the beautiful part of it is, so Sam has bowled a long time, is very advanced. I'm a very competitive person no matter what I'm doing, but I'm not the most amazing bowler. So like we have kind of two perspectives of where our memes come from. Sometimes, Sam's can relate to the more serious bowlers. Mine can be more of the laid back bowler, or, everybody's on their own level. So
Sure.
Yeah. And like, what's bad for one is good for another. And I guess that applies to really anything.
We got a righty and a lefty. So
Yeah.
And we can both throw backup balls and a little better.
Yeah. Are you surprised it's gotten as popular as it has?
A little bit.
Yeah, I'd say it went up fast.
Yeah, I'd say for bowling, it's popular. I mean, if you go to just a regular old meme page, you'll find like 2 million followers and 80 posts a day. I'm like, I'm not doing that.
Sounds like a lot of responsibility.
Right.
Yeah.
Is there any kind of a goal in this? Do you have a set number of likes that you're aiming for or anything like that?
I guess if you just like bowling and memes, you can go like the page.
No, I mean,
we're not gonna. I mean, I have no motivation to try and monetize anything. We got merch that was just slapping stuff on random Teespring stuff, and
COVID's kind of put a damper on like getting together as much to work on some of the things. We really want to do some ball review videos of like bargain finds of balls, but kind of just push that back right now with all the COVID stuff going on. And
and we thought about shirts too, but that's also another thing. Like, you gotta get together and kind of come up with ideas.
It takes quite a bit to sell them and actually make money,
Yeah,
that's true.
We both have kids, so those kind of take priority.
Oh yeah.
And bowling is secondary.
Sure. Yeah.
And my wife is smiling at me in the background.
I also like fishing and golfing too, so
gotta kind of divvy up the time.
definitely.
Yeah.
Although a lot of things are relatable between all the different hobbies, so
That's true.
You could see a golf meme and it's like, well, that's just like bowling too, so
And that's got to help you, produce the content.
definitely.
Yeah. Let's talk about your bowling stories. Paul, maybe you want to go first and tell us how you got into the sport and, kind of take us from the beginnings there.
Sure. So bowling for me, I actually started pretty late in the game. In my whole life, I had only ever bowled one time when I was like 16 years old. And that's actually when I started dating, who's now my wife. And we started going here and there, just having a good time. And we were both competitive into sports in high school and all that good stuff. So it just turned into, once high school was over, well, what can we do that's competitive? And we got into a mixed couples league and got our own ball, our own equipment. It's really a game changer, and just kind of took off from there. And we both enjoy bowling to this day.
Oh. Sam, how about you?
I started a little earlier. I was like 11 or 12, and I liked it a lot at first, but I also really liked basketball. But I wasn't very good at basketball, and when I got cut from freshman tryouts among like 40 something kids for 2 teams, I was like, I'd rather just focus on bowling full time and try to get really good at that. And I don't actually have a lot of other hobbies, so I guess this is it.
Yeah.
And it's something you can do forever.
Back when you were competing with the high school team, I was working with that high school.
Yep.
I can't even remember what it was called.
It was District 10.
Yeah.
Which is how Wisconsin has their high school teams spread out. It's not like an official WIAA or anything like that. It's just its own club sport run by a separate entity.
I remember, I'd see your dad there every time. He'd say hi, and you could just tell he was brimming with pride at what you were doing out there. Has he been a big influence for you, or source of inspiration?
Well, we'd make sure that he would take me every Saturday for youth league, and he would. Our youth coach Denny would offer lessons to anyone who showed up at 8:00 before league would start at 9. So he even got up even earlier than that to make sure that I got there. And then I just kept growing and growing from there, mostly because of that.
Yeah.
Yep. Because my first year, I averaged like a 117 with a Planet X Shields drilled bowling ball.
Okay.
And then just goes up from there.
Yeah. You ended up competing for UW Eau Claire. That's something you and I actually have in common. I bowled for the university for a year. What was that like for you?
Were you guys good?
I'll say good, not great.
We had good times, but in terms of performance, we were usually either in the middle or towards the bottom.
Yeah.
Definitely not like a Whitewater or even Stout had their run for a bit before I was doing there. Yeah. But yeah, it was fun.
Yeah.
And we got to meet a bunch of other friends, and actually we bowled with one of them in a tournament last weekend up in Tech. He went to UW Oshkosh, so it was really more about just meeting the people and staying in touch with them than actual bowling.
That was kind of the thing for us too. I mean, I bowled for the university here in UW Milwaukee. Nobody had a coach other than Whitewater.
Yeah.
There was no real control, I guess you could say. We just did, things on our own. We, organized travel and where we were going to stay, and we're just happy to be out there. But, from there, you move on to adult leagues and adult competition. Tell me about how that's going for you guys. Maybe Paul, you want to start?
Sure.
With COVID in the backdrop, what's it like bowling in leagues and tournaments these days?
Yes, so league this year is definitely different. Our Tuesday night league at Wagner's, they're splitting it. So just your 5-man team is on a pair of lanes. So that's kind of really changed. You're bowling next to the team you're bowling against, but the feeling of the competition's not quite there as much. So you got to be a little more self-motivated for your scores every week. I will say it's been pretty nice, though, to have less transition, feeling a little more like a lefty this year. So get to know what it's like over on Sam's side there.
Sam, do you still feel like a lefty?
If I was actually throwing it worth a damn, then maybe. I'm down from last year, but it's not like super drastic. It's just like a 10-ish, just like in another open or another spare per game, or getting another strike in the middle of a string instead of a 9 or something.
Having a baby makes it a little harder your first year back at bowling, man. I completely understand that one.
Oh yeah.
Try not to shift the blame to that, but I just got to focus on me and what I can control.
Yeah.
I guess one good thing is my low games aren't super low. Usually the low game will be like a 190 something, and I'll just kind of spare my way to low 200s and 2 teens, and I'll break out eventually.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Paul, he says that so casually. I'll just spare my way to.
Yeah, sounds rough. It sounds rough.
I miss those days when I could just spare my way to anything, really.
Yeah. Sparing is caring.
Sparing is caring.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
That's an old team motto right there.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. Our first year we bowled a 5-man league together. My dad, he owned Happy Sleeper at the time.
Okay.
And that was our sponsor team. And someone came up, I think it was Corey, said we were the Happy Sleeper Spare Bears.
Yep.
And that our motto was sparing is caring.
Okay.
But we won both halves that year, so it was good.
Yeah. Sparing was good.
Yeah.
A couple of guys that struck a lot more than they spared, that kind of helped. But
actually, I think I got my first 800 that year.
Oh.
Just kind of towards the end. And that's where we were all not sparing and striking.
Yeah, that was the year I threw my first couple sanctioned 700s.
Yep.
Mark Lee tipped a full Angry Orchard over on me one night, and I just completely went in the zone and shot a 700 for the first time in league ever, with a beer spilled all over my shirt and pants.
Yep.
It's kind of funny.
That was the same night as the 800.
It was. You're right. Yep.
All that stuff just happened.
Yeah.
And we were just like, all right, we're just gonna zone in and bowl.
When you talk about zoning in, tell me what that's like for you guys. Sam, maybe you want to start. We see, your physical game. We have no idea what's going on in your head. When you're rolling, when things are going good for you, what do you do to either calm the nerves or just stay within yourself?
I usually take my time, not on the approach, but just kind of getting there and getting a good pre-shot routine down, and just try not to deviate from anything, or just letting that empty space be empty space and not letting thoughts get in your head or anything, and just to give the ball a chance. I think one thing a lot of people try to do too much is to be perfect, because not all strikes are created equally. And
that's for sure.
The result is already determined once the ball leaves your hand. So it's not like you can will anything more out of it once you make your shot.
Yeah.
I think that's where a lot of people trip themselves up.
And don't be ashamed of a few Brooklyns in a night.
Exactly.
I'll take each and every one of them, let me tell you. Paul, is there anything that you can tell us about maybe when you were, on the verge of those 700s?
I think the big thing is just confidence in the ball that you're rolling. Sometimes we tend to favor a certain ball or another, and that confidence kind of just goes right onto the lane. Then, even if you don't throw as good of a shot with it, sometimes it's still going to work because you believe it's going to work. As far as I go, my biggest thing is paying attention to details. You don't want to go up there and line up in a completely different spot than you were just in when you're throwing a good shot. You got to keep track of where you're at and just keep moving down the line. Hopefully you can keep carrying some pins.
Yeah, absolutely. So again, the page on Facebook is Bargain Bin Bowling Memes, and you just search under that title and you'll find it. I guess give me an example of maybe the latest meme that you're going to find on the page.
Did it earlier this morning.
Is it appropriate for broadcast?
Oh yeah. Actually, if you just scroll straight down, it should be.
Most of them are. Yeah, it might be right on there if you can scroll on that page.
Let's see.
Yeah, I posted one this morning, and then I just kind of gave a shout out to
then you posted me. Yeah.
Yeah. Then that first one. Yeah, that's pretty family friendly.
Pretty well representative of what you'll find there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We call Jerry Yoda at Wagner's, the guy running the bowling balls there. So
Oh, yeah.
he's very knowledgeable.
Absolutely. Yeah. And pretty well known in bowling circles all over the Midwest, Jerry Holdorf. Yeah, absolutely. All right. And again, if people want to take a look, and I should mention one other thing too, is that you guys don't mind sharing these things around. If somebody finds one they think is funny, they want to slap it on their page, you guys are okay with that?
Oh, yeah. Totally don't care.
Cool.
Yeah, people have sent us memes and messages. We'll share them and tag them up in it so they get their credit. And I mean, everybody's got their own humor, and some of them are really hilarious that we've been sent. So
yeah, there was one not family friendly that a guy posted the other day. I'm like,
oh, it was funny though.
Yep.
Cool.
So let's just say it involves checking league standings
Yes.
at a bad time.
All right.
Yep.
We'll leave it at that.
Yeah.
So in this, we do a thing called the foundation frame, where we kind of check back to the chat window and see if anybody's said anything. Let's see. This is Joey Buchholz, who's a friend of mine from back in Milwaukee. He says, "This feels big. I love the pre-show countdown music," which is great because, I didn't pay a dime for it.
Mm-hmm. It gets people.
So it was a bargain.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Were you guys nervous at all to be on this premiere episode? Because it is kind of a big deal.
I hope it gets to be.
Yeah.
It's a
I
great
hope you
setup.
get more than 1,700.
Thank you so much for having us on
thanks
too.
for having us.
Yeah, you're welcome. Glad to do it. And the last thing we have on these shows is off the sheet, and that comes with a challenge for you guys. And I'm going to kind of put you on the spot here, because this is like the one thing that you didn't really know about this coming in. But the challenge is, I want you to challenge one person, or maybe a pair of people if you prefer, to be on this show and tell me why. Tell our vast audience of 2 live people right now, 2 live viewers, why this person or people should go on this show. Paul, why don't you start?
All right. Well, I'm going to go ahead and nominate my friend Corey Fern.
Okay.
He bowled in college as well. He bowled for Stout. Good thing to know about between me and him for bowling was we're so similar personality-wise. We absolutely hated each other when we first met at a bowling alley. I wouldn't even invite him to the bonfires that I used to invite Sam and the bowling guys to. But now we are absolutely best friends. So it just shows, you can't judge everybody right away. And Corey would be able to tell some great bowling stories on here.
It's funny how that works out sometimes.
Yeah.
At post-college. Sam, how about you?
Well, baby bomb right there. I'd like to nominate our friend Austin Janke.
Okay.
He is also a former collegiate bowler. He went to, I think, Weber International.
Weber International.
Oh.
He got that whole experience.
He was the big
IT
time down there.
Yeah, with the training center and all of that, and that's kind of one place I wouldn't mind crossing out the bucket list, is just going down there for like a week and working with some of the best coaches and equipment in the world.
Yeah.
He bowls up in the Twin Cities area now.
Yep.
So
Okay.
Yeah, he's originally from the suburbs, so pretty close by. We saw him last weekend too.
Okay. Great.
Yep. So my wife and I actually moved to the cities for a few years, and I met Austin, and he was working at a bowling alley that I frequented quite often, and we kind of have circled him in now to our big group of friends for bowling, and we all tell each other about tournaments. And
Which bowling center?
was he working at?
Yeah.
Split Rocks in Wyoming, Minnesota, just a little town kind of northeast of the cities.
Sure.
He's from White Bear, though.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah, I know that area well. I used to live in the Twin Cities. So
Yeah, it was called Stars and Strikes before that.
Okay. Cool. Yeah. All right. Well, again, our thanks to Sam Lofquist, Paul Bautch. Thanks for coming on. Again, Bargain Bin Bowling Memes on Facebook is their page. Please check it out. They'd love you for it. And again, don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel here, Bowling with the Fef. If you search on YouTube, hit that subscription link, notification bell. You'll find out when we're going on live next, and recorded videos and stuff like that. Our next show is going to be on the 29th. So it'll be on a Thursday. Hopefully everyone can tune in. But yeah, again, if you want to apply to be on the show, bit.ly/bowlingwiththefef. We'll get you the application link, and we'll come on the live stream, talk some bowling. Guys, thanks again for being with us. We appreciate it.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
All right. Have a great night, everyone. Thanks for joining us.